Mirror Master stole Batman's plans and used them to disable the Justice League members. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we will be recapping the movie, Justice League Doom. Spoiler alert, watch out and take care. The story begins with the Justice League investigating the activities of the elusive Royal Flush Gang. It's been reported that they have mysteriously broken into highly secured places without tripping any alarms or alerting the authorities. Batman tracks them down and walks in on a robbery in progress, so he immediately calls in reinforcements from the Justice League. Jack of the Royal Flush Gang keeps watch as the others haul in a big score. Suddenly he notices Batman sneaking and he buys enough time for the rest of the heroes to arrive on the scene. Ace was about to drop the vault door on him when Green Lantern arrives and throws him against the wall. He then pursues 10 trying to escape on a floating card, while Superman handles Ace himself. Wonder Woman chases after Queen while Martian Manhunter goes after King. Flash and Batman work together to handle Jack, who cornered himself into the vault room. While Batman keeps Jack preoccupied, Flash phases through the wall and knocks him out. Green Lantern uses his powers to knock out 10, while Superman uses his overwhelming strength to rip Ace's humanoid body apart, and Wonder Woman uses her lasso to restrain the Queen. King manages to break free from Martian Manhunter using a plasma generator to electrocute him, but he immediately gets knocked out by Cyborg, who was waiting outside. It turns out that Batman called in Cyborg to help with the case, given that the villains were using extra-dimensional tech and Cyborg is the only specialist in that field. Cyborg explains that the device allows its user to pass through solid objects and explains that somebody gave it to them, given that the Royal Flush Gang is not highly skilled enough. They tried to interrogate them but came up empty. Cyborg explains that he needs time to sort the data on the hard drive from the device to determine who made them. Unsatisfied with how things turned out, Batman returns to the Batcave and continues working, but his butler Alfred Pennyworth insists he gets medical attention first. While Batman and Alfred return to the manor, Mirror Master breaks in through the Batmobile's rearview mirror. He then uses a mysterious device to steal all encrypted data on Batman's computer. Meanwhile, Bane follows a track sent to him by a mysterious person somewhere in the Louisiana swamp. Out of nowhere, a crocodile pounces at him and drags him under. Bane uses his powers to break free and easily snaps the reptile's neck. He is later greeted by fellow villains, Star Sapphire, Metallo, Ma, Alepha, Ak and Cheetah. While getting acquainted, a building surfaces from under the swamp. The host welcomes them to the Hall of Doom and introduces himself as Vandal Savage. It turns out that they were all invited and lured in with promises of a payday. Vandal explains that they were specially handpicked after having a personal vendetta against a member of the Justice League. He claims he has a vision for a new world and wishes to take out the Justice League, which stands in his way. Though reluctant at first, Vandal convinces them to join his cause after their long history of failing to kill members of the League on multiple attempts. Mirror Master vouches for Vandal, offering them a foolproof plan of winning against their nemesis. To sweeten the deal, he even offers them an additional $100 million for each Justice League member they manage to take out. Star Sapphire grows suspicious at how Vandal flaunts that much money. Vandal explains that he's pretty old and he has spent 50,000 years amassing a vast fortune. He later hints at an ulterior agenda aside from taking out the Justice League, which could be monumentally beneficial for them if they continue working with him. After agreeing to his plans, they are officially welcomed as members of the Legion of Doom, dedicated to defeating the Justice League. At the Batcave, Alfred alerts Bruce Wayne of the desecrated graves of his parents. When he sees it, he's overtaken by rage and Bane suddenly sucker punches him. When he catches him off guard, he then beats him to near death before burying Bruce alive in his parents' coffin. Meanwhile, John Jones the Martian Manhunter meets a friend who surprises him on his birthday. Everyone's friendly to him at the bar when a mysterious woman buys him a drink out of nowhere. He approaches the woman and thanks her for the warm gesture, when he realizes that it is Ma, Alepha, Ak in disguise. He admits that the drink is laced with magnesium, a chemical that has an odd effect on Martian biology and is considered poison to their kind. Although the magnesium won't kill him, his body will continue to sweat it out of his pores, which when ignited will continually fuel the flames. John is unable to retain his disguise and reverts to his original form. When Malefic sets him on fire and he constantly blasts, never extinguishing even with water. In Central City, Barry Allen, the Flash, receives word that the Mirror Master is robbing the new magnet train from Keystone City. Flash quickly heads to the train and frees the guards who are tied up. They explain that the Mirror Master plans on stealing old cash they were transporting to the Federal Reserve to be taken out of circulation and changed for new bills. Mirror Master used holograms to taunt Flash. When he finally reaches the last carriage, he finds Mirror Master taking an elderly woman hostage inside of a glass cage. He explains that Flash needs to use his powers to save her, but when he attempts to phase through it, he gets strapped with a bomb bolted to his wrist. Mirror Master explains that the bomb will explode if he tries to remove it, remains still for 60 seconds or slows down after running. Meanwhile, Green Lantern responds to a call where an unknown number of heavily armed militiamen have taken over an assault mine. They call themselves the Identity Brotherhood and have taken several workers hostage. As he ventured deeper into the mine, he saved the workers but claimed that one of the company's bookkeepers was also taken captive. He managed to corner one of the armed men taking a woman hostage and tried to reason with him. Instead of surrendering, he blew himself up along with the hostage. It was later revealed that the explosion released Scarecrow's fear gas, which haunts Green Lantern with guilt over failing to save the hostage despite the power he wields. He later renounces his ring and reverts to a regular human, leaving himself to his fate in a collapsing mine. At a harbor, Wonder Woman is lured by Cheetah, who challenges her to a one-on-one. Although Wonder Woman fended off most of her attacks, Cheetah manages to graze her. It turns out that her claws were laced with nanites to attack Wonder Woman's visual and auditory centers, causing hallucinations, causing her to see everyone look like Cheetah. She then starts attacking random civilians and even police officers who are trying to calm her down. Knowing Wonder Woman will never quit a fight, she will continue fighting until she dies from a stress-induced heart attack or a brain aneurysm. In Metropolis, Clark Kent, the Superman, receives word from Daily Planet reporter Lois Lane that Henry Eckertson, a disallowed White House reporter, is about to jump off the top of a building. Superman immediately flew over to reason with him. After telling a sob story of how life has been unfair and cruel to him, he suddenly shoots Superman with a kryptonite bullet. When that wasn't enough, Henry's revealed to be Metallo in disguise, who opens up his kryptonite heart, which weakens Superman as he falls off the building. With the Justice League members on the verge of death or incapacitated, the League of Doom celebrates their victory. Later, Vandal reveals a larger scheme he had planned, which he callously describes as genocidal, as he plans on killing half the world's population. He told them he was born 80,000 years ago and lived on an island now known as Sumatra. One night they witnessed a meteor shower, but with their primitive minds back then, they only knew of it as stars falling from the sky. One of those meteors fell to Earth near a valley where he lived. He quickly sought it out as he was drawn to it and even slept beside it, feeling its warmth. When he woke up the next day, he was forever changed. The radiation from the meteor evolved him into a super-intellectual creature, and he later discovered his immortality, even daring the Cheetah to test his claims of immortality. When she slipped his throat, Vandal got back up and his wounds immediately recovered. Returning to his plans, he claims the surviving population will look up to a leader who offers them food, comfort and order. Vandal offers them a chance of becoming warlords in this new world and dominion over as much of what remains of the planet. When asked how he plans on ridding half of the world's population, he shows them a specifically crafted nuclear missile that causes a solar flare directed at Earth. Cyborg later arrives at the park after hearing a report of police officers attacking Wonder Woman. The officer in charge explains that she was first seen fighting Cheetah when she suddenly went berserk and started attacking everyone else. They managed to get the civilians out and seal off the park, but they struggled to restrain Wonder Woman. Cyborg later realizes that she has nano-machines on her brainstem, making her hallucinate and see everyone as Cheetah. He manages to free her from the hallucination with a sonic attack using a frequency that neutralizes the nanites. Meanwhile, Bruce, trapped in a coffin with his parents, made him more determined to break free. While trying to figure out how Bane got the upper hand on him, Alfred informs him of the grave news of Superman being shot. He later realizes that the Justice League is under attack using contingency plans he had stored on his computer. He instructs Flash to phase through an iceberg to break free from the bomb bolted to his wrist. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman dives into the water to inject Martian Manhunter with aluminum oxide to counteract the magnesium he is overly secreting. Batman then finds Green Lantern and explains that what happened was not his fault and that the so-called corpses were just android bodies to make him feel guilty over their deaths. To save Superman, Batman then gives Cyborg a piece of kryptonite to break through his flesh, while Martian Manhunter digs out the kryptonite bullet in Superman's body. The Justice League later returned to the Watchtower to discuss what happened. Batman admits that the plan used to take them out was his contingency plan considering each of their weaknesses. He claims he had created those plans to neutralize the Justice League should the need arise. He explains that members of the League are too powerful even on their own and in retrospect could also be the most dangerous on the planet. He explains that he has also had a contingency plan for when his security gets breached, it would automatically call back home so he could trace the location of whoever broke into his computer. At the Hall of Doom, Vandal reveals how the nuclear missile would kill half of the world's population. He explains that the missile will trigger a solar flare that will grow at light speed along the magnetic trail left by the missile to destroy Earth and everything on it. A strong electromagnetic pulse will take out all technology and devices leading to a dark age. Out of nowhere, Martian Manhunter appears before them and summons the rest of the Justice League. The League faces their own rivals. Superman tore Mentello apart. Wonder Woman knocked out Cheetah. Green Lantern overpowered Star Sapphire. Flash overwhelmed Mirror Master. Martian Manhunter outsmarted Ma-Alepha. And Batman defeats Bane. Cyborg manages to stop the missile auto-launching sequence, but Vandal sneaks up on him and launches it manually. Wonder Woman arrives and restrains him, to which Cyborg knocks him out with a punch. Although they defeated the League of Doom, they failed to prevent the rocket from launching. Superman quickly flew to stop the missile en route, but one of the warheads reached the sun and triggered a solar flare. Green Lantern tries to buy them some time by creating a massive shield to slow the solar flare. Cyborg suggests they use the intangibility tech that the Royal Flush Gang used to let the flare pass through Earth. He reveals that the Hall of Doom was built as a giant intangibility device to provide it with enough energy to generate a force field letting the solar flare harmlessly pass through, saving Earth and everyone in it. With the crisis averted, they later return to the Watchtower, where Superman informs them that Vandal Savage has been tried in World Court. He's been found guilty of crimes against humanity and sentenced to life in prison. They also welcome Cyborg as the newest member of the Justice League, given his assistance in the recent incident. They later decide whether Batman should stay with the League given that his plans were used against the League members. Batman claims he would do it again if given the chance. He firmly believes that the Justice League is far too powerful of a group not to have fail-safe against any possible misuse of its powers. Despite good intentions, Batman fears their powers could easily be used for ulterior motives. He then walks away, but not before criticizing them for not seeing the potential danger of an out-of-control League member. Superman later talks to Batman before he leaves. He wondered what his plans were should he go astray, to which he responds that the Justice League was his contingency plan with his trust assured. Superman hands Batman the kryptonite bullet, entrusting him to stop him and keep the planet safe if he goes over to the other side. After which the awesome film came to an end. Thank you for watching, guys. Please remember to subscribe to this channel for more animated recaps.